Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be focusing on repotting this Juniper Procumbens Nana. So a few episodes ago I actually styled this tree, so you can go check out that video first, but now it's ready to go into a nice training pot. Alrighty, so first things first, we obviously need to take this tree out of its pot. So I'm just gonna pull it out just like that. You can see it comes out really nicely. And what I'm gonna start doing is I'm actually gonna start cleaning off the top layer of the soil first. So I've got a root hook, which I'm just gonna start by brushing off all these old stones. Just like that. And as we do this, we also want to start to find the surface roots on the tree. So you can see as I do this, I'm just brushing outwards, almost like you're brushing your hair. And we want to just start getting all this old soil off. You can see the soil is very muddy, so it's not great for bonsai, as we really want the soil to be very well draining. If soil isn't very well draining, bonsai struggle to flourish. You really need oxygen that can go through the root system. So I'm going to be putting this tree into some nice akadama and pumice, which we'll talk about later on. But as I go, I'm just really taking off all this old soil. And as we do this, it's a really good time to take out all those old weeds. So if you notice any weeds, remove them now, so they don't come back to haunt you. So you can see anything growing right on the top, you want to create a nice thick base, which is called the nabari. Cool, so at this point, when you've removed quite a bit of the soil, we can also turn the tree around and we can start taking that soil off from the bottom. So because I want this tree to still thicken up quite a bit, I'm not going to remove too many roots off the tree. I'm going to let it develop in some really good soil, and then next time we repot this together, we can really focus on the root system. But this is a really basic way to just repot your trees. So as you do this, it's really nice to get as dirty as possible, because soil gives you the same endorphins as exercise and things like that. So when you feel super happy after repotting, it's all because of that good soil. So don't be scared to get your hands nice and dirty. And as we do this, we're also untangling all those old roots. So this season, this tree can grow a lot more freely. Now that we've removed quite a bit of that old soil and loosened quite a bit of the roots, you can see how there are some roots that have grown quite strong. So you can see this long root over here, we're definitely going to have to trim away. We want to try keep a nice equal root ball on the tree. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to start. You can see the ones that are very noticeable, you can trim those away. Just going to trim those off. And then what I'd like to normally start doing is just start trimming around the edges, just so we have a nice equal root ball. And then later we're going to take off a bit more. But for now, I just kind of want to trim all those long ones and keep that root ball all even throughout the tree. Just like that. So you can see we've got a really nice even root ball at the moment. And now we're going to start trimming some of the other obvious roots. So you can see we've trimmed away quite a bit of roots at the moment. I'm just going to clear those away. And now what I want to do is basically turn the tree over just like this. So any roots that are growing directly under your tree, you want to start removing away. So we don't want anything to grow directly under your root system. We always want the roots to grow out and flat. Anything growing directly under, I'm just going to remove. And like I say, I'm not focusing too much on the roots today. We'll do another episode on that. But I just want to get this into some really good draining soil, and then we can develop it thereafter. But we might as well take a few of these roots away as we go, so the tree can just develop a lot nicer, just like that. And you can see there's nothing growing right at the base over here. So now that we've trimmed some off, we can also just clean some more of that old soil off, just to see what's going on. Amazing. And generally, when I repot a juniper, I generally don't want to remove off all that old soil. I find it stresses the tree out way more than, repotting a maple or something like that. So I generally like to keep some of that old native soil on, and I find it always does so much better after repotting. So I'm not going to wash down these roots. I'm going to keep that old soil on, and I'm just going to keep brushing a bit of that soil off the roots. Cool, so you can see that it has a really nice set of surface roots on the tree. So even if I just swing it around, you can see how all those roots are growing nice, flat and outwards. And you can see that all these roots, let me swing it around over here again. You can see all these roots over here is what's going to create a really nice thick base on your tree. So you want them to all grow out just like that. So we're going to start developing these roots as we go. So now that we're repotting the tree, we can bring the tree up slightly. You can see that the soil was all the way up to that point where you can see that line. And now we can really bring it up a bit and then start developing these surface roots out. You can see it's got a really nice thick base to the tree. So now obviously our plan is that we want to get this tree into this nice terracotta training pot. So I'm just basically going to pick the tree up. I'm going to see if it fits in nicely. So you can see it's going to fit in perfectly. But before we put it in, I just want to give the tree a little bit more room to grow. So again, I'm going to come around and just trim some of these roots just around the tree. And this is a perfect time of year to do this, because obviously the tree is growing super vigorously now, so we can trim quite a bit of these roots away without worrying. And I'm not taking off much, because junipers don't like for you to remove too many of their roots at once. So I'm just going in pretty lightly, just like that. And anything growing directly downwards, again, removing. But that looks good. I think it's going to fit nice and snug into this terracotta pot. So before we put this into the pot, it's always a good idea to tie your tree down into the pot. So the one problem with this training pot is there's only one hole in the pot and there's no tie down holes. So I'm going to show you a nice little technique I like to use when you only have one little hole in your pot and you still need to tie down your tree. Cool, so you can see, like I said, there's only one little hole in this training pot. So we always want to use a piece of mesh just like this so we can cover that hole so the soil doesn't leak out too quickly. So the best thing we want to do now is we're going to grab some wire, and I'm going to just cut a small little bit of the wire. You can see about there. So what, that's about, maybe 8 centimeters or so, just about there. It's about the length of my finger. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically bend this over just like that. I'm just going to create like a U. I don't know if you guys can see that U that I've created over there. And now all we really want for it is to be able to stick it through the hole. So you can see that it sticks it nicely through that hole so that the wire will go through the hole nicely. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my mesh and I'm going to stick it through the mesh. But let me do a little close up on this. Cool, so you can see I've got my mesh, got my piece of wire. I'm going to stick the one side into a piece of the hole in the mesh and the other side in another little hole in there. And I'm going to just push it through just like that. And I almost want to create a little, you can see, like a little hole there between the mesh so that later on we can stick some wire through there so we can tie down the tree. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick that wire through the hole. Hope you guys can see this. You can see how I'm sticking the wire through the hole just like that. I'm going to turn it over. And now you can see that the ends of the wire are sticking through that hole. So I'm just now going to bend it over the pot just like that. See, I'm just bending it over nicely. So it's nice and secure. So it's holding down that mesh in the pot. And then at the same time, we can also stick some wire through here. And then we can tie down that tree. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab some wire. I'm going to measure how much wire I need, enough to tie it down. I'm just going to cut that wire. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that wire through that little hole that we've created. And I'm going to stick it all the way through, just like this. And then you can see that the wire is through the hole. And I'm just going to push down that wire and bend it over here so it's out of the way when we repot. And I'm going to do that to the other side over here, just so it's out of that way. So you can see here, I've tied it down nicely. And there's many techniques you can do, but this is a really great technique, especially if you only have one hole in your pot. Cool, so this is the soil I'm going to be using, or the growing medium. So basically it consists of akadama, pumice, some sphagnum moss, and a little bit of perlite. So you can obviously just use some akadama and pumice, but I like to just, because we live in South Africa, I find that this holds a bit more water retention, and then your akadama and pumice go a bit further, as it's quite expensive stuff. And I'm going to be repotting quite a bit of trees this season. So especially when I'm still developing a young tree like this, I'm not going to put it straight into akadama and pumice. I'm going to only use that for the trees that I want to refine. First things first, I'm just going to add some of the soil right to the bottom. You can see I'm just adding a bit of soil. And now obviously the soil at the bottom is going to determine the height that the tree sits in the pot. So we obviously want this tree to stick out of the pot a bit because we want to start developing those surface roots. And now this is also very important because we also want to angle the tree nicely in the pot. Alrighty, so like I said, we want to angle this tree nicely in the pot. So in my previous video, I don't know if you remember, but I had a piece of wood angling the tree, you know, this way. So before it was in the pot straight up and flat like this, I want to just angle it a touch so this can flow down just a bit. So I'm going to put that tree into the soil. I'm going to make sure the height is correct. So I think I'm just going to put a little bit more of the soil in just to get that height correct. And now I'm going to swing this around. Remember, we're going to tie this down. So remember to keep an eye on where your wire is. And I'm just going to angle it slightly, not much. So you can see the surface roots are just sticking out of that pot. Just like that. And now we're going to wiggle it onto that soil. So wiggle it on nicely. And now we're going to tie down the wire and tie down the tree into the pot. So I've got my wire over here. I'm just going to stick it through those roots. And I'm going to basically pull it through. And we're going to go over one of the thicker bits of root. So let me swing it around over here so you can see. You can see I've pulled it through nicely. I'm going to grab this bit of wire. And I'm just going to start by twisting this wire around. Just like that. Now it's really important to get a piece, some pliers or gin pliers so that we can grab that wire and we can start twisting. So you can see I'm twisting it and I'm sticking it in. So I lift and I twist and I grab just the end right over there. I lift and I twist that wire right in there. Lift, twist. Sometimes the wire doesn't twist as nicely, but we just want to basically secure this tree into the pot. And once it's nice and secure, we can cut that leftover wire over here just to get that out the way. And then we can push this wire down so we can try hide it under some soil. So you can see it's really nice and nicely secured. Cool, so now you can basically see that I can grab the tree and you can see how it's completely secure to that pot. So now when I add some soil, we can start working that soil in between. And now when your tree's growing, it can really be nice and secure. So all those fine little bits of roots, you know, won't get torn off if there's a big bit of wind or so on. So it's really nice and secure in that pot. So now I'm going to add a bit of soil into my pot. I'm just going to add it right on the first layer of the tree. Let me turn it around so I can get some in there. And I will do a more advanced repotting class, but this is really nice and simple for you beginners to just start out. And you can see I'm going to start swirling this soil in between these roots. So you can see I use circular motions. I'm going to swirl it in between, just like this. And you can also push that soil in between those roots, but you really want to make sure you get as much soil in between all these roots so that there's no air pockets in the tree. So I always like to start going right at the base of the tree first and going quite deep into the root system, and then later on we can go just above the root system and just get all that soil in between. So I always start at one section first so I don't lose track of where I'm going. And then I'm going to turn the tree around just like that. And now I can go to another section. So I'm just going to work all that soil in between those roots. So if you haven't already, I would really appreciate it if you guys could give me a share, a follow and a like, because this really helps the algorithm out. And I feel like we need to get this to more beginners in bonsai and spread the love of bonsai so we can all learn together. I'm just going to work all that soil in between those roots. So also drop me a comment and let me know what trees you are repotting this season. I always love to know and hear from other fellow bonsai lovers. And if you're struggling with repotting or anything this season, I'm also more than happy to help you out. Like I've said before, I do offer classes on this. We can repot your trees together. And I'm based in South Africa, Johannesburg. So if you live in South Africa, then it's even a bonus. We can repot our trees together. So I'm just going to work all the soil in. You'll be surprised how much soil can actually go in this tiny little pot. As we work that soil in, we also need to top it up so we can work some more soil in between that root system. So you're basically just going to keep topping up, and then you're going to be working that new soil in between there. You really just want to get as much of that soil in. We've gotten a nice amount of soil in between the roots. I don't think we need to put any more in. I just noticed a little bit over here, but I think this is gonna look great. So now, after you repot a tree, remember it's really important to give it a good amount of water so that the tree can nicely rehydrate and that soil can almost cling onto the root system. And then a really, really important thing that a lot of people forget to do is leave your tree in the shade. So leave your tree in the shade for a little bit. Don't put it in some harsh sun at the moment. So I normally leave my trees in the shade. Try avoid like very, very strong winds at this time, just straight after you repot. And then do that for about a week, and you'll see that the roots will settle nicely. And then once the roots have settled, you can move it into a nice spot that gets a good amount of sun. And there you have it, basically repotting a nice little juniper. So give it a nice bit of water, just like this. Really get that tree nice and hydrated after the big repot. And you can see the water just drains right through the tree. So I think repotting is one of those topics we can probably discuss for months and months on end. But this was just a really basic way to repot your tree. I just really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will be doing more advanced repotting techniques later on. So I hope you guys all have a beautiful day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you all next week, Saturday.